The ground trembles, and massive machines roar to life, ready to lift, dig, and build. These powerful giants are designed to handle the toughest jobs, but the results can be shocking when things go wrong. Cranes collapse, trucks tip over, and heavy equipment malfunctions in ways no one sees coming. Some mistakes cost millions, others bring entire work sites to a halt, and a few leave workers and onlookers froze in shock. These moments, from small miscalculations to massive disasters, prove that even the most powerful machines aren't always in control. Stay with us to witness unbelievable industrial mistakes caught on camera. Firstly, brace yourself for a shocking industrial mishap. Towing a 400-ton crane seems smooth at first. However, disaster strikes when the truck reaches a hill. Suddenly, it loses control, turning into a wild ride. No workers were injured. Get ready for a heart-pounding aviation crisis. A cargo plane loses its hydraulics mid-flight, sparking chaos. However, the flight and ground crews quickly jump into action. Every second counts as they fight to ensure a safe landing. Thankfully, all passengers and crew survive this terrifying ordeal. Next, prepare for a shocking space failure. A powerful rocket launches, soaring straight into the sky. However, suddenly it curves off course, heading downward. Within moments, it explodes mid-air, crashing violently to the ground. A massive explosion follows, marking a failed launch. Not only that, but watch this terrifying moment unfold. A helicopter flies near a crowded beach. Everything seems fine. However, suddenly, it goes out of control mid-air. The pilot struggles to land safely, but loses control. Within seconds, the helicopter crashes into the beach. Consequently, this shocking accident will leave you stunned. A bulldozer moves carefully across a frozen surface. However, as it moves forward, the ice suddenly cracks. Within moments, the heavy machine plunges into freezing water. It sinks completely, disappearing beneath the icy depths. Furthermore, witness an unexpected demolition disaster. A powerful crane works to tear down a massive silo. However, as it moves forward, something strikes the structure. The entire silo wobbles in a mesmerizing way. Within moments, it collapses, creating a shocking scene. In addition, this intense moment will leave you speechless. A worker slowly lowers a massive anchor into the water. Suddenly, the mechanism fails, causing chaos. The anchor drops at extreme speed, generating sparks and fire. Panic spreads as workers rush to escape the danger. Get ready for shocking clean energy mishaps. India, now the most populated country, needs more power. However, with more turbines, accidents become inevitable. On March 3, 2015, locals watched a turbine blade snap. Then the entire structure collapsed like a pile of twigs. Now, watch this heavy lifting disaster unfold. A crane attempts to lift a massive tree section. However, the load proves far heavier than expected. The crane struggles, loses balance instantly. Within moments, it tips over, crashing to the ground. So, prepare for a tense aviation disaster. An aircraft approaches the runway for a routine landing. Something goes wrong just before touchdown. Suddenly, the front section catches fire upon impact. Thick smoke rises as emergency crews rush to the scene. Moving on for a shocking space failure. A powerful rocket blasts off, soaring straight into the sky. However, just seconds after launch, disaster strikes. The rocket explodes mid-air in a fiery blast. The failed mission ends in a massive cloud of smoke. Moreover, this unexpected failure will leave you stunned. A heavy machine operates on seemingly solid ground. The ground's load-bearing capacity is miscalculated. Suddenly, the surface gives way, swallowing everything above. No one was hurt, except the ground itself. Sometimes safe energy isn't so safe. A wind turbine in northern Texas stands tall against the sky. However, a lightning strike suddenly hits one of its blades. Flames spread rapidly as firefighters struggle to control the blaze. Onlookers watch in awe as smoke rings rise before destruction. Meanwhile, massive objects mean massive destruction. At Magyar Gang Wharf in China, a bulk carrier approaches the dock. However, the crew miscalculates its speed at the worst moment. The sand-laden ship crashes, causing the entire dock to collapse. To make matters worse, a heavy rail crane topples and sinks. Now, come for a powerful takedown. A massive crane moves in to bring down a towering silo. However, as pressure builds, the structure weakens rapidly. The entire silo crumbles in a dramatic collapse. Dust fills the air as the demolition is complete. This high-speed disaster will leave you speechless. On February 7, 2017, Italian drivers faced a terrifying sight. A wind turbine spins wildly, struggling against extreme winds. The uncontrollable speed pushes it to the breaking point. The blades snap off, flying in 3 directions. Next, prepare for a sudden disaster. A small ship floats peacefully in the water, with a man standing on it. Suddenly, an anchor is dropped from above with intense force. The ship is pulled down, sinking quickly, along with the man. In moments, both are submerged under the water. Now, watch this tense moment unfold. A ship is supposed to stop by the shore, but it's out of control. Speeding towards the dock causes panic among the people nearby. The ship crashes violently into a hurdle, finally coming to a halt. However, this one's sure to make you laugh. A massive water tank is being lifted, but things don't go as planned. Suddenly, the tank wobbles and starts to topple. It crashes with a loud bang, turning the situation into a hilarious disaster. And watch this recovery attempt go wrong. A crane works to recover an overturned truck. As the crane straightens the truck, it suddenly goes out of control. The truck speeds forward, making it impossible to stop. It crashes into another truck, ruining the recovery mission. Furthermore, this recovery attempt takes an unexpected turn. A car is being recovered after flipping over. As it's lifted and set upright, it unexpectedly starts moving independently. Before anyone can react, the car speeds forward and falls into a ditch. Meanwhile, this recovery goes wrong. A crane attempts to lift a truck off the accident side. However, the crane malfunctions mid-lift. Suddenly, the truck slips and crashes back to the ground, failing the recovery. Watch this shocking aviation failure. An aircraft flies over a mountainous area, preparing to land. As it descends, control is lost. The plane skids uncontrollably, grazing the ground before finally stopping. Moving on. This maritime disaster is hard to watch. A massive sea ship begins sinking, taking on water rapidly. With heavy equipment on board, the situation worsens. The ship struggles to stay afloat before slowly disappearing beneath the waves. Finally, here we go again with a rocket failure. A rocket launches from China with high hopes. However, disaster strikes moments after takeoff. The rocket fails mid-flight, exploding in a fiery display. The mission ends in a massive cloud of smoke and debris. What a wild journey we've just witnessed. These moments, from colossal machines to jaw-dropping mistakes, prove that even the best-laid plans can go sideways. Every miscalculation, every crash, it's all part of the chaotic brilliance of heavy machinery. Which moment had you holding your breath? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Want more heart-stopping moments of industrial power and failure? Stick around for more. Keep your curiosity burning, your excitement unstoppable. And remember, engineering is anything but predictable. See you in the next thrill.